How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to give you a quick update on the K Swapped FTO. Now, on the last video, if you haven't watched that, there's a link here up in this corner somewhere. Go and watch that video. That'll get you up to date to this video. But in the last video you saw me fit the K24 into the FTO. On that video, I cannot believe the amount of support and comments, and wow, just absolutely amazing. And welcome to all the new subscribers, and thank you for your support. This build is definitely going to be very interesting, and we're going to find out some things together. And I want you guys to be involved in this build. And when I mean involved, at some stage I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think? This or that or whatever. So it's definitely crucial that you guys stick around and watch me build this car. So in the last video, there was some comments regarding why am I sticking a K24 engine or a Honda engine in a Mitsubishi? And some people made comments about fitting the Evo engine or the Mitsubishi GTO, which is a V6 3-litre twin turbo. For both engines, they're very expensive and very hard to find the parts, hence why we're using a Honda engine. There is so much aftermarket support for this, and they are so tunable. Loads of stuff that can be done, and you will see in this build what I mean by that. So the Evo engine would obviously be the one to go to. It's a 2-litre turbo Mitsubishi engine. The biggest issue I had was finding an engine and all the auxiliaries and stuff like that, which meant I'd probably have to get a donor car, which then means you're talking 10 grand plus. And then with the Mitsubishi Evos, they're kind of a collector's item now. So I didn't really want to strip down a collector's item, whereas a Honda Accord, there's tons of them around. So that was why I went for the Honda K24 conversion. Also with the Evo engine, the parts are very rare in a sense of building the engine. You know, there is no Mitsubishi dealers now in the UK really that I know to, so getting Mitsubishi parts is very awkward, where Honda still do some parts or all the parts for the K series. So if I really wanted dealer parts, we could get that. The GTO engine was a fantastic engine. Again, it is heavy, it's a big lump, but again, it's fitted completely the other way around. So for me, it was the wrong way around. The FTO engine is fitted exactly the same as this one is in the sense of where its location. So on the Mitsubishi FTO engine, the timing belt's this end. The timing chain on the K series is this end also, so it kind of makes sense. The other thing with the Evo engine was I wanted to keep it front wheel drive. I didn't really want to start cutting, you know, the chassis up on this vehicle to turn it into a 4-wheel drive. So keeping it 2-wheel drive was definitely where I wanted to go. The gearbox for the conversion of the Evo engine into this is very hard to find. If anything goes wrong with that gearbox, it's going to be hard to source and repair. So again, thinking forward, K series, the Honda box, the Honda engine, loads of aftermarket support, loads of people out there doing conversions and you know, getting genuine parts. So again, it wins. So without further ado, we're going to jump on. I'm going to show you an update on what we've done so far, and I've been very pleasantly surprised. There is some hiccups and there is some things we're going to have to work around, but I'll get into that either in this video or in another video. But let's get into this video and let me show you exactly what I've done. So let's talk engine mountings. Engine mountings is something that I think a lot of you are looking towards and want to know more about. Now, I just want to make this abundantly clear. We are test fitting this engine. Once we've got everything piped up and the car runs, the engine's coming back out and we're going to overhaul the engine, put a new clutch in it, new timing chain, etc, etc. So we will go over that later on, so don't worry about it. You know, again, this car is a genuine car the engine that is, came out of a genuine car, so I want to give it a good overall. Anyway, back to the engine mountings. As you can see, this one here, and I wanted to retain the original mounting points for the FTO. If we had to chop them out and redo them, fair enough, but I wanted to retain those original mounting points on the chassis. Obviously, that was developed by Mitsubishi. That's where it's saying, you know, its strongest point is. So I wanted to try and keep that. So engine mounts. Let's talk engine mounts. I brought an EKK kit. Spoke to Brian over at Hasport. He advised start off with a EKK kit and then go from there. So this is one of those mountings, as you can see, which way it's facing. It's because you can turn these one way or the other. So this is this way around basically. And the mounting on the side of the block is actually the genuine Honda CRV mounting. And you can see that lines up pretty well. Now, if you hopefully can see, we do have clearance between the water pump and the chassis, and we have enough clearance. I'm not genuinely worried about how close it is, because again, once we take the engine out, we will be doing the water pump, alternator belt, so we shouldn't need to revisit that anytime soon. I have worked on vehicles that are a lot tighter than this, so for me, it is what it is. If we look at the gearbox mount, again, I wanted to try and utilize the EKK mount, but with this gearbox, the original engine mounting runs at an angle, as you can see. So what I did, mocked up a template gearbox mount for testing purposes. Obviously, all this will be done real nice, but we need to make sure it works and everything's good to go. The underneath, or the back mounting at the back, I am in the process of designing, and what I want to do with the design, underneath on the FTO, it has a cross member which goes from the front cross beam to the subframe. That obviously doesn't fit anymore, but I want to utilize that design and create a mounting at the front and a mounting at the back. Again, we'll talk about that in a different video, because there's stuff being made, so there's nothing for me to really show you. Alternator is what it is. Power steering, this is something I want to talk to you guys about. Power steering. The Mitsubishi power steering reservoir mounts there. This is off the Honda Accord. This fits all in place beautifully, lovely. This is why we've gone for the hydraulic system as opposed to the electrical system. The return for the cooler at the front is a Mitsubishi pipe. All I've had to do is just turn it round and it fits. This is obviously the genuine Honda one, which goes to the reservoir. The high pressure pipe, which goes over the back, I'm having a custom made pipe to interface between the Honda pipe and the Mitsubishi steering rack. What I want to do with this build, if you were to do this in the future, or if something happens to that power steering pipe, I know it's just a Honda power steering pipe. I've got the adapter pipe in between the two, but if something goes wrong with a Honda pipe, I can just order the Honda pipe. Something goes wrong with a Mitsubishi steering rack, I could just get that sorted. It's not like a hybrid. The conversion pipe is literally a 30 centimeter pipe with two different ends, job done. So that's that. They run virtually identical pressure as well. And if you're worried about the power steering fluid that's going inside, don't be. We're going to be using Dexron 2 or Dexron 3, which is perfectly fine for the rack and power steering pump. I've been speaking to a power steering pump specialist, and they do similar conversions for other people on other cars, and they have no problems. So I'm happy with that. Let's look at the manifold. The manifold isn't staying. This is purposely done for test purposes. Don't worry about that, but again, it's on, it works, it's all what it is. Fuel system. Fuel system I am changing, because on the FTO you have two pipes at the back, one feed, one return. Now, it's always good on a build like this that you have a return pipe back to the tank. The Honda here only has a feed in, because the return is done somewhere else at the back on the Accord. So I am changing out this fuel rail because we can add a return, and that will plumb in very nicely because the fuel kit that I've ordered comes with a pressure regulator and a gauge. So that'll bolt up there, beautiful. So that's potentially why, again, the return and also having a pressure regulator with a gauge, which will help. The charging loom for the Honda Accord is on and in place. Again, I've bolted it into connected it into the Mitsubishi fuse box, into the original alternator fuse. So that's all wired in and good to go. Because I do want to try and utilize as much as the FTO stuff as possible. We obviously have the engine loom from the Honda in, and again, we'll talk about that in another video because there's some stuff I'm going to go over. Coolant, keeping the engine cool. Radiator is the Mitsubishi FTO with the Mitsubishi fans on, and what I can tell you is the top water pipe hose, it fits on there basically. I have got an aluminium one because I was going to change it anyway, because I believe it has been leaking over the years, so I'm going to change it anyway. Again, test purposes, it fits perfect. If we look over here, to do with the coolant, we have an overflow. The Honda radiator, if we go over here, so the Honda radiator is nice and thin, and it has its overspill there, and its filling point here. So just coming back to the FTO filling point is on the housing here. So if we connect all this up, we're going to have no way of putting our water into our cooling system. I've ordered a part for that, which is a filler neck, which bolts to the side of the engine, and you get the filler neck here for the Honda. So guys, literally just as I'm editing this video, I have a delivery, and these are the parts that I was talking about regarding the extra water components I need for the engine swap. And this is the plate that you attach the new filler neck to. As you can see, this comes with all the accessories you need for the extra pipes, for the overspill or overflow, some extra pipes there that go there, or you can blank them off. So this is super exciting. Obviously your original Honda radiator cap attaches onto the top there, and that's where we're going to fill up our coolant. This one is the one I was talking about for the bottom hose pipe for the radiator. This swivels, so basically what you can do is lock it down on the vehicle, and you can adjust where you want your hose pointing towards. Absolutely a fantastic design. It also a threaded end if you want to attach an A-end line instead of a normal hose pipe. So I just thought I'd throw this in the video, literally editing the video, and these have just turned up. Amazing. See what I mean? Loads of aftermarket support. The bottom water pipe for this, for your FTO radiator, here's the bottom water pipe. Not sure if you can see it. And that virtually just about clips on to the bottom of the rad. I have ordered another housing with the new thermostat adjustable housing. Again, I'll show you that. We should be able to make that pipe work, or the FTO pipe work. Radiator side of things, plumbed in, that's all good. If we look at the heater matrix, again, coming out the bulkhead, we've got the heater matrix for the FTO. And guess what? Here, down here, is the heater matrix pipes for the Honda. Hopefully they can see that. So heater matrix wise, I'm not worried. We can do that, we can run that, that's not going to be a problem. We may have to cut the pipes a little bit shorter, but we know we can make it work. This is all test fitting to see what problems we're going to have or may face moving forward. Let's look at the vacuum side of things for the braking system on the FTO. This is the original FTO vacuum pipe, which goes to the servo. As you can see, this fits the Honda original vacuum line into the manifold. It's almost like Mitsubishi knew we were going to do an engine swap and said, hey everyone, we're going to make this work for you all. The vacuum lines, again, we will probably end up changing that and getting rid of that, as well, because that's old and crusty. We want to see if everything fits and works. Let's look at the interesting part now, which is the gear shift and gear cables. And the eagle-eyed viewers of you who have noticed, we do have the shift cables on and they actually work. And I'm going to show you now inside the car. So on the inside, we have fitted the original Honda Accord gear shift housing. And the reason why I've done this, think about it like this. If the original stuff fits, we can always then remove it and fit the aftermarket like short shifting boxes if we want to. This, I believe, looks fantastic. We've got to sort out the gear gaiter scenario, which isn't going to be a problem, let's face it. We're going to have the interior redone anyway, so we can address that later on. But this works fantastic. Third, fourth, fifth and sixth. And reverse. Nothing's hitting, everything's clearing. And again, the actual gear stem kicks off to the right here. So even though it looks more to the left, it does kick down, and the gear shifter housing is directly in the middle. I've just test fitted this as well, because obviously we've got stereo system there. We don't want to be moving and hitting the screen with our hand, so we want it right. But as you can see, it's clearing with enough space. The cables go through, you can't see, but they go through perfectly well. With the gear shift cables and the gear shift fitted, we need to now think about the clutch. So the gear shifts work, everything works lovely, absolutely awesome. Clutch, the clutch side of things, I've utilised the original Honda clutch slave cylinder with the original pipe work goes over. We've utilised the original brackets, which goes onto a flexi and goes across to the chassis of the Honda. And if you look, here was where the ABS sat. The ABS sat here, so you've already got bolt holes where I've been able to bolt the bracket for now for the clutch inlet, which again I've just piped up into the master cylinder. Operational, works. Press the foot down on the clutch, engages clutch, everything's good. The airbox, again, I won't run an airbox, I'll run an induction kit, but for now you can see that is also on and in place. We've routed the drive-by-wire throttle as well. Again, we'll talk about that in another video, why we're doing drive-by-wire instead of just cable or manual cable. We'll go over that. Earthing points are critical. I've just attached very quickly again an earthing point there. Most people who have Japanese cars, you guys know, earthing is a main concern on your vehicle. So you must make sure you connect or sort of overdo the earthing points. The other thing I've done, I've actually started mounting the battery in the boot. Very critical part of the system, because I want this area to be as clean and tidy as possible for when we do the turbo conversion, which is going over there. And again, you can see we got tons of room over here for a turbo. I want this car to be anything between 350 and 500 brake, reliable and drivable. So I don't want it to be 1,000 brake horsepower like you can take these. You know, this would be absolutely awesome on a drag strip. You imagine that car 1,000 brake on a drag strip. It'd just be immense. Boom, off it goes. Again, the FTOs are great track cars as well. Not many people utilise that as a track car, but it is a fantastic track car. If you put a K20 in this, high revving, as a time attack car, you'd probably get some real good times out of it. So again, this conversion, I feel, it could open a ton of doors for people and make things better in the future for the FTO platform. One major thing we've got to sort out, drive shafts, which I'm kind of already on, and also the electrics to get it started. That's going to need a whole video on itself. However, we did manage to get this cranking. I'm confident now we're going to get a crank. So I'm going to turn the ignition on and we're going to go through, and I'm pretty confident we will get a crank. How about that, guys? Boom. It's cranking. It's nearly there. And that's something that's so super about this, is it's just nuts. I can't wait to get this actually firing and going. I've put some oil in the engine just to get it round, and we'll keep tackling the wiring. This video, just an update to talk to you guys and explain what we've done and how we've done it, is really interesting. The exhaust manifold as well, I'll just quickly go over that. I was hoping to have it here by now, but it's not. That should be here next week, and we'll talk about the exhaust manifold and what's going to happen there. I've made amazing progress. I have found some perfect answers for issues that I think we're going to run across. And as far as I'm concerned, this engine now is probably 60% towards it running. And that's what I'm super excited for. Guys, if you've enjoyed this, if you're enjoying this content, please leave me some comments below. What do you want to know? What do you want to see? Do you want to see more or talk more about the inlet and what we're going to do? Do you want to talk more about the braking system? What do you want me to talk about more about this build? What do you want to know? What are you interested in? Let me know in the comments box below. Thank you again for all your support, and welcome to all the new subscribers to the channel. I really do appreciate this. I really want to share this with you guys because I have some crazy ideas with this. This is already crazy, wheels included, and again, this car's got to not only perform the part, but I want it to look the part as well. But for now, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and also, like I said, leave a comment in the comment box below. But for now, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys on the next update.
Got a monster inside of me, you better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed